3, 2, 1, and liftoff. The rise of Starliner and a new era in human spaceflight.
This morning, Boeing launched its new passenger spaceship on a critical test mission that could revolutionize American space travel. But the Starliner's first uncrewed flight has encountered a big problem on the way to the International Space Station. Mark Strassmann watched this morning's launch at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Mark, what happened?
Good morning. 31 minutes into the flight, there was a problem. Starliner's onboard engines that fire automatically did not push the spacecraft into its planned orbit. And without that engine burn, Starliner will now not dock with the space station after all. Instead, the new plan is to bring it home early and have it land in New Mexico as early as Sunday morning.
And the orbital insertion burn has been delayed.
With the Starliner flight now in jeopardy, mission controllers in Houston have a problem.
Again, teams here on the ground are evaluating their various options, looking at what the best next steps for Starliner might be.
And no one's following Starliner's test flight quite like these three astronauts, Boeing's Chris Ferguson and NASA's Mike Fink and Nicole Mann.
Starliner Houston, com check.
I got you loud and clear.
Okay, that sounds perfect for you. We got you loud and clear as well.
In this simulator in Houston, they're training to become Starliner's first crew to ride into space. But first, Boeing must prove to NASA that Starliner can dock to the space station and return safely to Earth.
You got to go from 17,500 miles an hour to 0, and you got to break through the Earth's atmosphere along the way. Heat shield, how's that working for us? And then the parachute's working. So this is going to be an exciting flight, and we're going to be glued to our TV sets.
And liftoff, the final liftoff of Atlantis.
Since the space shuttle retired in 2011, NASA has needed a new American way to ferry its astronauts to and from the space station. It hired two companies, Boeing and SpaceX, to build and fly a new generation of spacecraft. But both are more than 2 years behind schedule.
It's overdue.
NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine.
We want to meet a very aggressive schedule, but if it's not safe, we're not going to meet it, and I'm not going to apologize for that. And our agency isn't going to apologize.
Liftoff.
Both companies have faced technical problems and setbacks. During an otherwise successful test of Starliner's abort system last month, only 2 of the spacecraft's 3 parachutes deployed. It was human error. One was improperly connected.
How is that not worrisome?
Well, it is worrisome, make no mistake. So one of the reasons we do the testing is to make sure that those mistakes don't get made. Make them early, fix them, and move forward. But we are going to move forward.
The delays have forced NASA to spend an extra $1 billion buying Russian Soyuz seats for its astronauts.
And liftoff.
But next year, Russia will scale back those flights, putting NASA in a bind. If neither American company is flying astronauts by April, the space station's crew will drop from 6 to 3, leaving only 1 American on the $100 billion lab.
Can you do significant science when the crew levels drop that low?
It gets more difficult. We can do some levels of science, but if we have 1 crew member on the International Space Station, most of their time is going to be dedicated to operating the International Space Station.
Space is hard, and it always will be. While we do feel a certain amount of pressure to get the job done, there is no pressure to launch.
This is a very difficult process. It's going to take some time. And I tell you, when they find something here on the ground, something wrong with the vehicle, I feel a little bit relieved. I'm glad they found that now, and we're not finding that in space.
Today's test flight was Boeing's final milestone before it was to begin launching astronauts into space sometime next year. Today's setback could well put that schedule in jeopardy.
Yeah, all right, Mark. Thank you very much. It's a reminder that it is hard to get off of this planet with anything.
Yes. It takes a lot of research and a lot of work.
And people keep doing it.
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mark.